down there. All right. So some things do look a little closer than what they than what they actually appear, but that's probably about 2 to 3 feet below the bottom of the boat. All right.
Good fish.
So the last type of hard coral down here, they would be sort of a rusty colored coral. They have little white tips all on the top of them. They kind of stick up out of the ground. There's a little bit of it right here. But I'll find some more for you. And it's called the staghorn or the fire coral. And that's the only stuff down here that will actually burn you or sting you. Right? That's it's really the only type. That's the worst thing that you'll find here on the island is the fire coral. The general rule I normally try and explain to everybody if they ever get in the water anywhere in the world is if you come across something red on the bottom of the ocean, it's a better idea to leave it alone anyway. It's normally red for a reason, so be a good idea. And then you got the soft corals down here. I said those are the ones that are kind of swaying along the currents. Really, you're going to find, here's one down here. See how it kind of looks like a bunch of cat's tails all linked together? You'll see some that are a little bigger. They'll be real brown and fluffy like a cat's tail. Those guys are basically called the sea rods or the sea whips. Let's see if I can find some more for you. But the other type of soft coral, there we go, there's a sea rod or sea whip. There's 2 of them right there. Here's some fire coral down here. Right next to it, you can see what looks like a lace fan that's swaying along down there. Those are called the purple sea fans. All right, and that's the second type of soft coral there. With these soft corals, you guys may see some of them will be a silver color, like that one. And you also see some like the one I pointed out to you, be brown color, like right here. And then that purple sea fan. Really, the only difference between all these soft corals, that fish down there is a gray snapper. Really
pretty.
The only difference, or the only thing between the soft corals, when they're brown and fluffy, it basically means that they're feeding, and when they're purple or silver color, it means that they're sleeping. So that's the only difference between them. And they basically eat and sleep in 12-hour shifts. So a pretty cool lifestyle. The only other coral that we have out here is a hard coral. That's what we call strawberry or Fermani coral. And that coral is a bright pink color. It's actually a reddish color. Now it doesn't sting you or burn you in any way, but what happens is that's actually what's responsible for giving Bermuda its pink sand. And so if you guys have been over to the South Shore, you guys have probably seen the pink sand. That's basically what ends up giving us that pink sand. There's the strawberry Fermani coral. You normally see it on the southern side of the island. You see it out deeper in the deeper reefs here. As this is a shallower reef, you're not going to see any of it here today. But that's really what's responsible for all of the pink sand on our beaches here. And really, like I said, that's it for the real corals that you guys are going to see down there. You guys have any questions so far?
Are there going to be other type of fish we can see?
These basically these 3 types of fish that you guys are seeing up here. This actually, the largest of the 3 would be the gray snapper. That's the one that I explained. So there's one down the bottom here. So a fish down the bottom. Ooh. These other guys here that are real chubby looking fish, they have that sort of bulbous forehead. Those guys are called the chubs. And the last fish down there is the smallest of the 3, and those guys are the Bermuda greens. So they're an endemic fish to the island. And they're not going to go anywhere. There'll be more coming out here in a second. Basically, this is the shipwreck. Excuse me. This is the shipwreck of the HMS Vixen. Basically, the Vixen was built back in Deptford, England, and she was built as an inline freighter or a British gunship. So they actually built them to compete against the Monitor and the Merrimack, the kind of iconic ironclads that the American Navy built. That's the smokestack and the boiler that we're up and over right now. So the Vixen, she was built as an ironclad, so out of cast iron. Many downfalls, very heavy, unmaneuverable, lots of rust. The maintenance on the ship was outrageous. So they ended up towing the ship across the Atlantic here to Bermuda in 1884. She was used as a coastal defense ship between 1884 and 1892. In 1892, they basically brought the Vixen out here. In 1896, sorry, just finish the story. Between 1892 and 1896, sorry about that, they actually used her as a dormitory for the convicts and the Irish slaves that helped build the dockyards. Okay, so in 1896, this is the bow section of the Vixen here. In 1896, they basically brought her out here. As you can see, as we drop off the side of the Vixen, there's the side there. As we drop off, it goes down to about 30 feet of water here, anywhere between 30 to 40 feet, depending on where you are. But this channel, the British decided they would block this channel, so they brought her out here, put her sideways in the channel, rammed her bow up onto the coral reef, and then sank her right there. And over time, as she sat on the bottom, she's kind of drooped, and now she's actually broken and kind of sits on the bottom in almost a V shape. And so her bow actually stuck forward up out of the water here. She's the only ironclad left in the world today is visible not only under but also out of the water, which is pretty cool. I'm going to show you guys that. She was the first ship in the Royal Navy to be able to use sail and engine power. Sorry, first ship in the Royal Navy to have twin engines, and the first ship in the